Chris Eubanks is a legend. Him and his family are legends. One of his sons is a close friend of mine. And obviously I've been seeing obviously Chris Eubanks, what he said in reaction to obviously Eubank Jr in terms of eggs and whatnot. Guys, look, here's my thing, yeah. Even when I was building Wicked and Bad and we had Sunday Smoke and we're doing live boxing, old school boxing, professional boxers is totally different to now, guys. Like, you got the likes of Logan Paul, KSI, Jake Paul, etc., etc. You got influencer boxers. You got people that's boxing Mike Tyson because of the bag and because of the entertainment and because of the trash talking. You got people like Conor McGregor. When it came to Conor McGregor fighting, the excitement, the build-up around the fight, people was invested. And this is what I mean. This is what I kind of need to you see, boxers, if they had their personality with the boxing, bro, they will sell. They will be stars. Like, they'll do crazy stuff. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And my take off on this is it's entertainment. Conor Benn, big shout out to Conor Benn. You get me? Obviously, he's been through his traumas. He's been through his drug allegations. Chris Eubank Jr had to cut all that weight. And his dad's saying, look, like, I'm not going to be in your corner. This is madness. This could risk your health, like, your life, like, how much weight you have to cut. Like, and whatever happens online, like, they're family. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I just kind of want to get your take on this, guys. You get me? I'm going to flip my screen and we'll get into this. Let's go to this. Let's go to the slap. Let's go to the slap first.
Off, and they are mic'd up, these two. So let's just see if they say anything to each other. Let's just
suave.
Have a good look at this and a good
both with the DNG at Louis, you know. Where's he got the egg? I think it's in his sleeve.
April 26th, live on DAZN Worldwide and Sky Sports box office in the UK.
This is sick though, isn't it?
Saturday, April 26th. It's Benn versus Eubank. The limit 160 pounds. The family
He's ready, look.
Goes on.
Look, he's fuming.
I got that one wrong, didn't I? Fuming. Sorry to say that before it.
He called that one, and it really has erupted down here on the stage.
That's absolutely.
He's fuming. Okay, cool. Let me break this down here. Do you know what that 1 minute done to this fight? The fight was huge anyway. It was huge. Let's get it right. Conor Benn, Chris Eubank, the dads, that was huge. They had their rivalry. They're both legends. Now the sons has entered this space. Now, big shout out to Conor Benn. I remember the training of Little Man. Like, Little Man's training coming up. Conor Benn hit man up, said, just do some training. Like, brought man down to the matchroom training gym and done some spars and done whatever with Little Man. You get me? And added so much value. But this is what I mean. You see entertainment and you see what marketing looks like now. Even though Conor Benn didn't know what was happening, what was going to happen, it's an egg. Like, it's an egg. Do you know what I mean? It's harmless. It's entertainment. It will sell the fight and there's more money. They're probably in some crazy pay-per-view deal as well. They got their initial upfront fees. Do you know what I mean? They're fighting purses, and then they'll get whatever per pay-per-view. Now this I'm invested. I have to watch this. You see the trash talks that come up when it comes to breaking down and the leading up to the press conferences and whatnot. I have to watch this, and this is my thing. You can have amazing fighters. You see Usyk. He's done up everyone. He's done up all of our boys from the UK, man. Unfortunately, he's done up everyone, but he don't really have the trash talk. But they sold him. They've done a good job. Like they've called him the hitman. He don't talk much, but they've tried to do what they can in terms of building up a storyline. Like we need to build up storylines. Like for people to be invested, we need to build up storylines. It's just like the spray and pound sterling. Like building up a storyline. Like obviously that has happened naturally. It's not forced. It hasn't come on the back of nothing. You get me? With Little Man and Salim, no one did even know who the second person was, but it's not been done before. Both of them were on smoke. When you saw them, get me? Building up the storyline. So let's go into what older Chris Eubank said. Let's go into that one. Let's go into that one. Here we go.
4 seconds out with the one and only Chris Eubank. Chris, great to see you. Michael Watson, MBE, the name, the inspiration. What does it mean to you on a fine day like this?
What it means to me is that if the rules are not adhered to, then you're going to effectively allow other fighters to lose their lives, their abilities to walk, talk, think, memorize. And
that's what he's scared of, man. This is his son, guys. Let's get this. Let's get this right. We watch all these films, right? We watch these films, what they Creed and all these films. Like, listen to the first thing that came out of his mouth. Lives, ability to walk. He's scared. He's lost a son already. Do you know what I mean? He's lost a son already. Now he's got another son, having to cut so much weight. He knows what he's putting on his body. Like, guys, trust me, man.
Effectively, what's going on is a nonsense. With all these boxers, all these people who are following this farce. We're Great Britain, and we have to abide by the rules. When the rules are being flouted and not being paid attention to, then the likes of Michael Watson, you're going to actually see this again and again and again, and it has to stop. And it's only going to stop by you, the public, putting your feet down and saying, you know what? Eubank is right. There are standards that have to be upheld. There are rules that are not supposed to be trampled. And only when we actually abide by these rules will we raise the bar, as in, the ability of the fighters, and stop fighters from being disabled.
Yeah.
And I don't think I need to add anything else.
It was a touching moment where I saw you gift a Rolex to Michael Watson. What struck me wasn't the monetary value of the Rolex, but was the moment. A lot of people maybe seem to don't shine a light on boxers after injury. Do you feel like Michael Watson, to some degree, is forgotten for boxing for the glitz and the glamour?
He's never been part of that. That's I don't really understand your question.
You've never forgotten about Michael Watson, whereas boxing has moved forward and moved on, and I guess hasn't focused on that, and maybe to a degree has forgotten about Michael Watson to a degree.
Well, yes, okay, to a degree, to a shocking degree, an embarrassing degree. Michael Watson, he is charged with the name, the People's Champion. And how do you not support him? It's just, is it just plaudits? Is it just lip service? I don't do lip service. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to fake. I don't know how to do the circus. I understand the noble art, and I went into it being noble. In '89, you'd remember.
89, I was born.
Was a mug's game.
I was born.
I stuck to my guns right the way through my career, to where now we are here in 2025, and Michael is living proof that it's a mug's game. He got £400,000 from the Boxing Board of Control back in the 90s for that's shameful, man. That's shameful. It's like it's like the world is not real. But this is real, and what happened to Michael will continue to happen as long as the rules are not adhered to. And shame on you, journalists. You are in positions of authority to actually steer the minds of the people correctly. The boxing board of
There's always an injustice. Like, there's always an injustice. See, once there's a big movement and whatever it is, unfortunately, Chris Eubanks can say these things and they can hear it, but everything revolves around money, innit? It revolves around what makes money. What makes money? In the music world, you got record labels signing drill artists talking about ops, drill artists going to record labels having madnesses with ops and having madnesses, but they're signing this music and they're thinking, oh shit, this is what happened. But it makes them money. Do you know what I mean? It makes them money. So they don't really care. It's the monetization. It's the what makes man money. Are you with me? It's what makes man money. It's crazy. Like, guys, my man's speaking the truth, but he's a legend. So what people are saying, whatever people are saying, they will agree. But brother, it takes a movement for there to be a change, innit? It takes a movement for there to be a change.
of control. Shame. John Morris, rest in peace. I don't understand why I abided by the rule you pointed out to me when I won that world championship on the 18th of November 1990. When you were wagging your finger in my face, yes, he's passed. But I'm going to speak to him in spirit. He wagged his finger in my face and said, remember who we are, okay? Do not bring the game of boxing into disrepute. And it's all that people are doing now. These promoters have no care for boxing and the standards of boxing and the noble art that boxing is. Noble art isn't a joke. It's a word that comes from the foundation of boxing. Noble. Not bad, no bad language. No hitting people with eggs and then actually promoting it.
It is entertainment, though.
Is this what we are?
It is entertainment.
Is this what it's come to, man? Is this what we are? Is this who we are? Because if it's who we are, it's who your children are going to be. So if you don't want your children to become morons, then stand by and don't say anything with all this nonsense that's going on. Boxing is about rules, and it's about being noble. No bad language. Conor Benn. You swear like a possessed drunk. You're supposed to be in Christ. Well, I believed in you.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Everything he's saying is like, you get me? That is man's mum, that's man's pops. Like he's right. And obviously, the older generation will never understand what's happening. The world has evolved. The world's changing. There's AI, bro. There's someone that will speak, that will look exactly like Chris Eubanks right now, and you will think it's Chris Eubanks. His voice will be copied. It's changed. The game's changed. Entertainment's changed. Social media is here. In your day when you was boxing, there was no social media. There was no YouTube. There was none of these things. Right now, I'm speaking on YouTube now. 2,000s of people taking in free game, taking in every single day the drop. So it's changed. Mom, dad, that's man's pops. That's pops there. You get me? It's changed, man. But the only thing man can do is listen. Like listen, are we gonna do it? We're gonna try be respectful, but you're trying to tell pops, listen, the game's changed. It's changed, pops. You get me? And what you're saying is right. We agree, man. We don't want no one being paralyzed or passing away or the weight cuts dropping down for pin 3-4 stone or whatever it is just to make this fight. But guess what? When the money is right, people are always gonna say yes.
You know, I do not believe that you did anything to do with drugs. I think you were set up. But
Yes.
now with this language that's coming out of you, you know, it is said, it's not what goes inside of you that defiles you, it's what comes out of your mouth. And your language is deplorable. You know, there was a time which will come back that, you know, you'd have your license not suspended, revoked, taken away from you. Because when you go out there on television, you are speaking to the public. You are
Role
you're
model.
influencing their
Yeah,
minds.
Yeah.
And the job you
What he said was powerful. And this is what man's always... When I made this YouTube, it was my therapy. Like, I've had enough of the bullshit. I've had enough. I've had enough of the lies. I've had enough of the misjustice. I'm just going to speak. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to speak on things. I've had enough. Are you with me? But sometimes when I realize the stuff that I speak about, it goes over people's heads so much, they look at the negative and then play on the negative, but they don't look at the bigger picture. But I know that the majority look at the bigger picture, you get me? So that's the main thing. But what he's saying is true, you get me? What he's saying is true. There's people that live here, they got flipping OnlyFans agencies, and it's like, bro, like, what do we represent? You get me? What is it that we represent? Like, I'm doing content, man's got little girls, like 21, up, flipping doing OnlyFans, bro. You get me? Sending me nudes in man's DMs, bro. I'm a 35-year-old man. It's disturbing, bro. What the hell? Like, man don't deserve them things there. You get me? But she's influenced by the flipping Ronnie Blues or all these people to think that is okay. You get me? And then it's like, when man speak about these things, it's like, okay, cool. Man shedding light to these things that is wrong, but man's giving people free promo. It's like when people kind of speak on man in a negative way, it's like you're giving me free promo for now people to come look at man, and it's like some people are influenced. So what he's saying is right, bro. It's right. But the world is lost, you get me? If social media got deleted, it will be a better place. It would be. It will be a better place. It would. You get me? There will be more of our families. Listen, my mom, my gran and granddad had 7 children. 7 children. And they was together for a long time. Now, there's a lot of you lot's parents, grandparents has been together for 25, 30 years. You see now, that don't happen now because there's big bats on social media. There's this, there's that. And everyone's dating the same women. This is why, you see me, you go on my Instagram, you go on my socials, bro, like, man is just dresses pop down, or my social media is educational purpose. You get me? So if, like, you're not coming on my social media to find a lit post for you to like up and then make me go off guard. Like, no, like, man's focused. You get it? So what you're saying is right.
you've done, if you're really in Christ, which I hope you are, the job that you've done against the principles of the Spirit of Christ, remember, it is patient, it is kind, it doesn't envy, it doesn't boast, it isn't proud, it certainly isn't rude. With this bad language, it's not rude. It isn't self-seeking. It isn't easily angered, and it will keep no record of wrongs. Where is this in you? Where is it gone? Where is the Christ personality gone? Someone's taken you over. Who's got you binded down into this? Who's destroyed your career? Destroyed it. 3 fights in 3 years? You do understand I was fighting 5 world championship fights a year.
Woo!
If you've had 3 fights in 3 years, same with you, Junior. If you've had 3 fights in 3 years, what happened to you guys? There are no standard bearers to steer you correctly. So you're lost. And the only way you're going to find yourselves is by looking at the rules. And the only way we're going to build a better community is by abiding by the rules. And the only way we're going to have the bar of boxing raised is by adhering to the rules. Without rules, you're baboons. I am not one of them. Rest.
Chris, just before you go, I've got a question for you. It's a serious question because you're talking about media and journalists not doing their job. I've been speaking to journalists and speaking to people in the media and trying to talk about this fight and shine a light on it. I spoke to British Boxing Hall of Fame trainer Joe Gallagher, and he said to me, "Who is?" Just hear this out, Chris. Just hear it out. Just hear it out. He said, "Who is going to be there if Eubank Jr.
Els.
isn't making the weight safely? Who will pull him out? Who will pull him out of the fight? Are you confident that someone will be there to make sure that Eubank Jr. is safe?" That's what I wanted to ask you. Can I ask that again?
Go outside.
Just give the answer.
Sure.
The answer is the fight won't happen.
Oh,
I am so confident
bro, what?
about this
My table's
fact.
here.
It will not happen because the rules, you know, if this goes ahead, the rules are trashed, and our nation effectively are a bunch of morons. Come back at me. Tell me whether I'm wrong, or tell me to get off of my high horse and actually get on board. Who's going to tell me to get on board? In their right minds, who's going to tell me to get on board? If I'm the one person, and it seems like I'm the one person saying, "Hold
At
on
the
a minute,
front door.
guys, you're all going the wrong way." There's a term in the spiritual world called repentance. Repent. It means if you're going that way, repent means go the other way.
Yes.
We have to go
This
the
is
other
powerful.
way. This way where they're taking you is to the pits. And I'm not doing that. I'm the one who created Matchroom. Matchroom would have actually it wouldn't have superseded any of these other promoters at the time. Matchroom would not have superseded other promoters at the time if it weren't for the spirit that led me through my career.
Powerful.
And look at what Matchroom stands for now. It's a mockery. Barry, I gifted you this. You helped me, and I helped you. Without me, I couldn't give you the gift that you passed to one of your family members. Where are you, Barry?
Whew.
You go along with all of this bad language. Never mind anything else. You go along with all of that. Is that what you are? 'Cause I don't remember you using bad language. I remember you being a gentleman. And you've let this slide now. I mean,
The promoters seem to want you in the corner. For some reason, they're calling for you to be in the corner. Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom are saying, "Why aren't you with Eubank Jr.? Why aren't you part of the fight week activities? Why aren't you in the corner?"
He knows what he's doing, answered this question, you see these journalists? This is his job. Understand, guys, this is your job. You see when people go online and they make things and it's against, boom, it's your job. You get me? And you have to accept that. You get me? And this here, the reaction, look, watch it. I haven't watched this.
because I will not be an accomplice to their stupidity, to their circus. It's against the rules, what's happening is against the rules. 147 fighting 160 is against the rules. When Kell Brook was made to fight GGG, it's against the rules. That boy had his eye socket smashed. This is what happens. The promoters, to them, it's just a game. But to the warriors, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
And we have to call them what they are. They are trash. They're trashing us. We are not trash. We are the standard bearers.
But you're
Powerful.
imposing a fine per pound for every pound he comes over.
I'm not even interested in. That's all a distraction. From what? The rules. The rules have to be adhered to. When they talk to you about rehydration clauses, sure, that's very, very important. But I don't need to talk about that. That's a distraction because the rules have to be adhered to. If the rules are abided by, then we don't have to talk about rehydration clauses, which actually kills fighters and puts them in the position that Michael Watson is in. Barry, you know about that. You know why the fight was made at 11 stones 10 and not 12 stones. It was the first super middleweight championship fight of the world. It was the first super middleweight championship fight ever. It was the new weight. Why did he come in 11'10"? Why was I made to come in at 11 stones 10? I actually came in at 11'8". My responsibility. So I see my son, I see the mistakes that he's walking into, only looking at the money. The money will get you killed.
Whew.
If you're not clever and if you're not noble, this will kill you, this vocation, what they call sport. It is sport, again, to the spectators. To you, the fighter, it is a way of life. And if you don't play it right, already, Conor, you don't have a career to enjoy. You'll look back and your children will look back at your greatest ever fight, and your greatest ever fight will be the one which was promoted bigger than any other fight. And nothing is going to get bigger than what you've done with this circus. And your children are going to be listening to you swear. How could you do that to them? How could you do that? I know you have, what, 2 children? How could you do that to them? Because they're going to listen to you and they say, well, if Dad does it, then I can do it. Junior, you're smashing an egg against this guy's face. I taught you that. I didn't teach you that. Who taught you that? Did Karen teach you that? Who taught you that? That's disgraceful.
Hey.
I'm gonna stand in your corner. You must be mad. You must be mad. I would never be in your corner. You're a disgrace. You're smashing an egg in someone's face, and then
I can't lie. Man is like, Pops, like, he's not lying. But Pops, man, Dad, like, it's changed, man. Like, it's harmless entertainment. It's not serious. It's harmless entertainment. People want to see the fight. It's harmless entertainment. I understand. Let your skills of boxing do it. But his personality, like, it wasn't that. You see Mike Tyson, yeah? He had that thing in him, the entertainment. Like, oh yeah, my man is the bad guy. Like, yo, we need to see this. Like, we have to see this. So, but you're right, that you heard me. You're right. We can't. You're right.
you're saying you're trying to justify it. There's no justification for that. There's nothing noble about that. Seconds out. You're welcome.
Listen, hey, listen. Let's go to. There's always arguments with promoters, the fighters, the promoter. There's always argument. There's always back and forths. Obviously, Chris Eubank, he felt hard done by. You get me? And he went in on he went in on Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn regarding on the press conference. So obviously, this is what you had to say. Okay, man, I don't know if you've seen it, but let's get to it, man.
Speak up, I can't hear you.
Hey, this is flipping Saudi brothers as well. So Saudi brothers also own Misfits, you get me, with Mams Taylor and KSI. They have Wasserman Boxing, yeah?
147 to 168 pounds. Chris, you're back, and it's good to see you back as well. New promotional team, new trainer for this camp as well. On the promotional team, chosen boxer, why?
Why boxer? Because every other promoter out here is a scumbag.
Whew.
That's why. Got Frank Warren behind me, lying and cheating his way through boxing for the last couple of decades. Sued me for a couple $100,000 a few years ago, so obviously I was never going to go with him. Because of scumbag. Cali Sutherland, had me locked up.
Speak up, I can't hear you.
Cali Sutherland had me locked up in a terrible contract for the last few years, squeezing money out of me at every opportunity. Scumbag. Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith.
On them.
They did everything they could to try and make this fight against Conor Benn still go ahead.
Scumbag.
Still go ahead.
Why did you fight Andrew?
After knowing that they, that he was on steroids, scumbags, you know. I would say the only promoter that I know for sure isn't a scumbag is His Excellency, Turkey Al-Sheikh. You know, this is a man who isn't trying to take money from fighters. He isn't trying to use lawyers and accountants to lock fighters up in slave contracts.
Guys, can you see this stuff happens in every field, whether it's music, football, boxing, production, and TV, acting. It happens. And this is what happens to us. We always, we sign from early, you get me? And we don't know everyone's intentions. And the question is do you have the money to take people to court? Because these guys do. These guys do. And this is why more time when I look at it, I would rather be co-signed by, I'd rather collect investment from independent companies, and not these mad brands that you're just going to sign into mad, crazy deals. Because, bro, obviously he's saying things, you get me? He's letting that out, bro. Like, he's like, over the years, he's had to deal with this. It's just like, sometimes you can't even enjoy the training or enjoy the sport because you're also having to deal with your mental state because of the logistics, or this person, or this is not right. And you can't just speak outspoken because these look kind of have a say in the next 4 or 5 years of what happens to you. Whether you go quiet, get put on the shelf, or they push you. You get me? And you abide by what's going on. So now my man's out of this. Turkey Al-Sheikh, real GOAT. Get me? Come and spiced up everything. He's speaking his mind. Obviously, he had to apologize because he's had to. But he's saying it out like, forget this, man. I'm crashing out. Like, you lot are scumbags. It always happens.
You know, he's a man of God. He's a man of religion. That's what's most important to the people of Saudi Arabia. He just wants to put the biggest fights on, the best events on, and pay fighters what they're worth. And as a fighter, it's a blessing to be a fighter at this moment in time, because this is the first time we've ever had a promoter like this in the history of boxing.
And he's brought. What the crazy thing is, when do you ever see Frank Warren or Eddie Hearn in a room together? Huh? Like that, like this. They're all kind of half brethren now, like breaking bread together. You get me? He's brought boxing. Like he said, I'm not doing influencer boxing. I'm doing real boxing. I'm gonna make the fights that we've not heard of happen. We're gonna pay the money, make it happen. Big respect.
Oh, and Ben Shalom's a very cool guy too.
Welcome back, Chris. Harmony in the room, as expected. On your opponent choice,
Hi, Frank Warren's fuming.
I mentioned at the top, you had fighters from 147 to 168. Call you out, right? Some big names. Why Camille?
Because I've been off a year, and this is a solid opponent, 25-2. He's only lost to 2 world champions. It's the perfect fight for me to get back into the ring after a year layoff, build a relationship with Saudi, get out there, get the ring rust off, and then go and knock off all these big names and world titles over the next 12 months.
Camille, I'll come to you. A couple of big fights that you've been in recent years, Gennady Golovkin, Eubank Jr as well, Eubank Jr represents.
I remember watching an interview of Conor, of Chris Eubank Jr, and he was just like, bro, like, they just hate me. They hate me. I do this. They hate me. I do this. They don't like me. I do this. They hate me. They just hate me. But sometimes, my guy, you see, when you're speaking the truth, or you have the best intentions, or you don't fall in line with the 99% of people because everything is cool. Sometimes you're the 1%, they're gonna hate you, my bro. You get me? And you need to keep on going. But what shows your character, bro? What shows your character is this, and you can see it speaks for itself. What shows your character is this, yeah? A man said, after my first scheduled bout with Conor and Benn got cancelled, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom never compensated anyone for their training camps, which never sat well with me. So here's a little something to help out the undercard fighters that were left out of pocket. Few boxers didn't want to give me their bank details, but maybe they will now. Bam. Bam. Man, like, see things like that, that's powerful, man. You get me? That's powerful. And it's not PR stunts, it's just kind of setting standards, man. It's just setting standard of the character he is, you get me? Because this is what it's meant to be, you get me? And people don't know, actual people that's on the undercards and that, they don't get paid proper money. This is why a lot of boxers kind of don't like influencer boxing, because when we're throwing up 100K for this or that, it's like, oh, certain boxers can just about get paid 5 or 6K or 7K and they're on big fights. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because a lot of the money just goes to the promoter. Now, I've been in this game, you get me? When I took 3.5 years out of the music world, I was in the boxing world for 3.5 years. So I started understanding that, man, as a promoter, slowly. I got a lot to learn. You get me? A lot to learn. But one thing I did learn is the game. You get me? And now that I've made a return back to music and back to boxing and bringing them together, obviously that was always the intentions. But I take my time. These guys are all 60, this much plus, and boom, boom, boom. I'm still young. You get me? In the 5 years, I know what we're building. I know what's happening. So, but yeah, man, I'm excited for this fight. You get me? Big shout out to Chris Eubank. Big shout out to Conor Benn. And big shout out to, obviously, Pops, older Chris Eubank. Do you know what I mean? He brought out a positive, powerful message. You get me? Positive, powerful message. But you can kind of see there's always injustice in everywhere, in every sport or every business. You get me? Whether it's in the corporate world, whether it's on the streets, you get me? You have to learn how to pivot. You get me? And you have to learn the right steps to make. You know what I mean? Build up your personal brand, keep on going, and please just like this video, please. If you can like this video, let's get this to at least 500 likes, guys. If you're one person that's watching this, please just press the like button, and I'll see you tomorrow, man. Peace.